Welcome back to the tutorial series on gravity data processing using the DGS MATLAB applications designed to process data acquired using the DGS81A meters. We will now look into the line crossings tool, which is an interactive program that calculates cross-coupling coefficients. These coefficients help to minimize the leveling errors at line intersections. So I will now go ahead and click on the grid mistized tool by double clicking on its desktop icon here. This will open up the line crossing tool window. So for this video, I will show you how we can import data that we will now process. So from the menu bar, which is right here, we will look into the import menu. The import menu provides three options for importing data. So we can either import one flight, add another flight, or add a complete folder of flights. So we will go through the first options where we will import one flight only. Once you select this, you will be prompted to locate the directory where you have your processed data file. So I've put all my processed files from the Tulsa test in one folder. So I had 6 flights, and I will select the first one. Once you select the data file, you will be prompted to specify a filter time for the further processing. Typically, the default of 100 seconds is usually okay. Once you specify the filter time, on the process log panel right here, you will note that it will display the name of the file that has just been imported and the number of lines that have been loaded with it. So in this case, I had 2 lines in my flight. So you will notice the line tracks in this line path window here for the 2 lines, and a list of the lines right here in this line list. Let's go ahead and try and add another flight to this. So I will go back to the import menu, and from the drop down, I will select add flight. So I will select flight 2. I open it and specify a similar filter time of 100 seconds. And you will note now that the process log panel logs that we have imported a second file, which is flight 2, which has now the total number of lines will be 4 from the 2 files. And you can see all the lines have been plotted in the line tracks window here, and all the lines have been listed right here. Okay, so you can always add more flights. However, if you would like to add multiple flights at once, it would be better to select an all folder flights option. So in this case, we'll click on all folder flights, and we will select the folder that had all my processed flights, which then this one I select and specify a filter time of 100 seconds. And you'll note that every file that is loaded is logged in the process log panel, and all the lines are listed in this line list, and all the line paths have been plotted in the line tracks window here. It is important to note that once I selected all folder flights, the program automatically disregarded any other flights that I loaded before this, and only considers the flights from the folder that I selected. This will also be the case if I select one flight again. So the only option that maintains your already imported flights or files would be the add flight option. So that gives us an overview on how we can import data. We should just note the log in the process log panel. It gives us a list of the files that have been imported and the total number of lines. Each line is listed here in this line list, and all the lines that have been imported are plotted in the line tracks window. At this point, if you'd like to know which line is which, you can select on the line, and you can note right here in the bottom right corner the name of the line. So when I selected on this diagonal line, this came to be line 8. If I select on this vertical line, that would be line 7. You can also choose to select which lines are plotted and which ones aren't. So if I select only one line, we'll note that only one line is plotted. The more lines I select, the more lines are plotted. So I'll just make sure everything is plotted. Okay, see the next video on how we can then now use our imported data to calculate cross-coupling coefficients.